Amazon Connect, Cloud Contact Center, Introduction and Demo. What is a Cloud Contact Center? It is a call center technology hosted in the cloud to provide customer service via channels like voice and chat. Amazon Connect helps us build such cloud contact centers on AWS. Therefore, Amazon Connect enables customer service representatives to respond to phone calls or chat queries from customers. An Amazon Connect instance consists of a customer service number, contact flows, routing profiles, queues, user management, metrics, and so on. When a person calls the customer service number, depending on the Amazon contact flow logic, he or she may be presented with a welcome message and then call may be directed to a customer service agent. In addition, a Lambda function can also be invoked in the flow, for example, to retrieve any customer specific information. We will learn more about these as we go along. Key concepts. Queues. A queue holds contacts or callers waiting to be answered by an agent. Routing profiles. It determines what type of contacts or calls an agent can handle and the routing priority. Flows. That's the IVR structure. It defines customer's voice call journey from beginning to end. For our demo, we will create a cloud contact center for our fictitious company called the Gadget Company, which sells gadgets, provides technical support, and automated order status information. Let us plan and design our contact center at a high level first. Customers can dial in to talk to a sales or a technical support agent. In addition, they can get their order status. Note that sales is available 24 hours while technical support is available only during specific working hours on weekdays. Here is a logical flow of how this will work. IVR starts with the main flow which greets the customer and presents him with a few options. Then, depending on the customer's choice, appropriate subflow, that is sales flow or technical support flow or order status flow, is invoked. We will have two users or customer support agents, Bill and Joe. Bill will have a sales routing profile and that routing profile has a sales queue attached to it, while Joe has a technical support routing profile which has a technical support queue attached to it. So let's start with the demo. Our demo will broadly consist of following steps. So let's begin with the first step. Create Amazon Connect instance and admin user. We are in the AWS Management Console Amazon Connect screen. So the first thing to do is to create an instance. Now here we will store our users, that is the agents, in Amazon Connect. Let's create our custom access URL. Hit next. The first user we create is an administrator. So let's provide some basic information with respect to that. Provide a password. And once we have provided all of this information, let's hit next. We'll leave that as default. So your connect data will be available in that S3 bucket. Okay, let's hit next. All right, we can quickly review all of this information and create the instance. Okay, our instance is being created and now we are ready. You can see our instance alias and access URL. Go inside the instance. And now we are done with instance creation. We can log in as an admin now. Using the access URL, let's log in as administrator. We will be taken to the dashboard. Create hours of business. Okay, now let us select the option of hours of business. So we will set up the hours of business that we will need for technical support. So we already have a basic hours, which is essentially 24 hours. Let's add a new hours of operations and give it a name like 9 to 5. Okay, and as you can see, our hours of operations are 9 a.m. to 5 p.m. Give it some description. Look at time zones. Select that US Pacific time zone, and since we are working only on weekdays, Monday to Friday, 9 a.m. to 5 p.m. Now we are ready to save this. Let's go back to the hours of operation screen, and now you can see there is a basic hours and there is a 9 to 5. Create queues. Okay, now we can create queues. So let's select that option of queues. All right, we can see there is already a basic queue. However, we are going to create one for our use, add queue. Okay. We'll provide a queue name. So let's call this sales queue. So it has basic hours of operation, which is essentially 24 hours. Okay. Let's save that. Refresh the screen. Okay, we can see our sales queue now. Let's add another queue called technical support queue. And for this, we select hours of operation as 9 to 5. We can save that. Refresh. Right. So we have our two queues ready. Create routing profiles. Okay, let's set up some routing profiles we need. Routing profiles determine what kind of contacts or calls an agent can handle, right? So we have a basic routing profile. However, let's add a routing profile that we need. Let's give this a name, sales routing profile. Okay. We'll only be dealing with voice. Let's attach a queue to this. So that's the sales queue. Okay, our default outbound queue will be the same. Okay, now we can save this. Okay, so there's a priority and a delay. If we have multiple queues in this routing profile, then the priority comes into play. So we set the priority to 1 and delay to 0 and save that. Okay, so that's our sales routing profile. Let's add one more. Let's call it technical support routing profile. Same thing in description, voice, add a queue, technical support queue. Same thing in outbound. Priority 1, delay 0. And now we can save this. Let's refresh. Okay, now we have these two new routing profiles. Create users. Okay, let us create some users or agents in our case. So let's select the user management. And this is the user management screen where we can see that we already have an admin user that was created earlier. So add new user and let's give it a name. It's possible to import users via a CSV template also. However, we only have two users to create. So we are creating that manually. Provide all the basic information about the user. So set a password for the user. Okay. Now we can choose the routing profile for the user. So we will select sales routing profile for this user. The security profile is an agent. So we are all set. Save. Right? So this user has a login of Bill G and a sales routing profile. Let's add another user. Provide a login and set a password for the user. Let's select a routing profile. So this user will have a technical support routing profile and is an agent. So we are all set. Save. So that's our second user. So we have two users. One has a sales routing profile, other has a technical support routing profile. And of course, we have an admin. Create sales flow and technical support flow. Let us create flows now. So let's choose that option, create flows. So there is a list of default flows. However, we are going to create a new flow. So let's hit that option, create contact flow. and provide a name. Let's call it Gadget Company main flow. Okay. On the left hand side, you can see a list of blocks to choose from. So we can drag and drop from that to the area on the right and create a flow. So let's start with play prompt. What happens when person is calling in? We need to greet that person. Right? So we have a play prompt block, and let's welcome that person. Welcome to the Gadget Company. So that's the text to speech part. Let's save that. Okay. What happens next? We need to provide some options to the user and get the customer input. Right? So let's drag that block, get customer input, and let's say something like, you know, choose option one, choose option two, something to that effect. Uh, Let us just say for sales, press one. For technical support, press 2. And for order status, press 3. Right? And let's add 3 conditions. These conditions are what happens when he presses 1, 2, or 3. Right? Let's save that. Right. So you can see those. Press 1, 2, and 3. Okay. So when the user presses 1, our sales flow should kick in. Right? That's how we want to design a system. So we do a transfer to flow. We need 3 of those there. When he presses 1, transfer to the sales flow. When he presses 2, transfer to the technical support flow. And for similarly for 3, we will have an order status flow. Okay, so that's the third one for the order status. Let's just save this. Let's drag that disconnect block. So after these flows are executed, we should disconnect. Similarly, all these timeouts, defaults, errors, in these cases also we will disconnect. Although we can add an additional play kind of a thing, like with a message saying that sorry you have timed out and such. But for now we will just disconnect. Okay. Let's join those arrows properly. It should be set. Save it. Okay. What happens when we try to publish it? Right. So that publish fails. Right. It shows there is an error. So this error is nothing but we have not specified what flow to transfer to. We have the transfer to flow block, but here we need to select a flow to transfer to. Now since we do not have the order status flow or a technical support flow or a sales flow yet, we cannot set them. So for now, we'll just save these and create those other flows. So let's start with creating a sales flow. Okay, give it a name, gadget company, sales flow. All right. And the first thing we need to do is to set a working queue. So we'll select the sales queue here. And next, we do a transfer to queue. So transfer to queue is the point at which the call gets transferred to an agent. Right? And after that, we simply disconnect. Okay, we are all set now here. Let's save it and publish this. All right, this has been published successfully. Okay, it's time to create the next flow, which is the technical support flow. Create contact flow, give it a name, gadget company, technical support flow. So similar to the previous flow, we set a working queue for this. Select the queue, which is the technical support queue, save it. Okay, then we should transfer to queue, join that. Let's get the disconnect block here. Okay, so at capacity also we are disconnecting. Remember that we can make it a lot more complex than what this flow is. However, we will keep this simple for now. Okay. And there's one more check that we can add here, which is the check hours of operation. Now, if you remember, our technical support is available only during certain business hours, right? So for that, we can add this block, right? So after set working queue, right? So this thing should go to check hours of operation. And if you are within those working hours, you can go to transfer to queue. And if not, if you're out of hours, right, you can maybe play a message and then disconnect. Okay. So text to speech, let's say something like, sorry, we are closed now. Please call us during so and so time. So please call us 9 a.m. to 5 p.m. Pacific Standard Time on weekdays. Okay, save it. So we are almost done with this flow now. Let's save this and let's publish this. So this has been published successfully. Now let us go back to our main flow. We have an unfinished task there. So these are our gadget company flows. So we select the main flow, and here now we can set the transfer to flow part. We have two additional flows, the sales flow and the technical support flow. So let's set them. Right? So this first one we should select the gadget company sales flow. Save that. In the next one, is the technical support flow. Okay, right? So third one, we do not have an order status flow yet. Create order status flow. Okay, now let us create the order status flow. Right, so we hit the create flow and then provide a name. Right, so let's call it gadget company order status flow. Okay, and then select store customer input because we need to get order number from the customer. Right? So the customer is going to key in the order number and follow that up with invocation of a lambda function. So we place a block for invoking the lambda function. And post that we need to play a message which basically states what the order status is. That order status will be provided to us by the lambda function. And post that we can terminate. Right? So disconnect. Now let's connect these blocks. All right, now these are connected, and now let's look at know, how are we going to prompt the user to key in the order number, right? So we can say please key in order number followed by pound key. Right? So save it. So we still need to set the lambda function and the play prompt part also. So let's save this for now and publish this. Right? So as expected, it fails to publish for now. Create lambda function to be used in the order status flow. Let's create the lambda function now, right? So we are in AWS console lambda screen, hit create function, and let's provide a function name. Let's call it order status function, and let's choose that runtime as Python, create function. Okay, now let's write the code for that. So here first we retrieve the order number from the event and then set the order status and expected delivery date. This of course is a dummy status and a delivery date. Ideally, you would be retrieving this information from a database or something. And then we return a result map. Let's deploy this. Next, we need to add the Lambda function to the Amazon Connect instance and then set it in the order status flow. We are in AWS console, Amazon Connect section. We select our instance. We go to contact flows. Here we are going to set our AWS Lambda function. So we go into the AWS Lambda section, select our Lambda function, add Lambda function, and copy the ARN. Now we are back to our gadget company order status flow, and we can set the lambda function here under the invoke AWS function block, right? So we select that and Now we are able to select order status function here. Hit the add parameter and provide order number as the destination key. This is the order number that the customer is going to key in, and we are going to pass that as a parameter. And select the value to be set up dynamically. Namespace as system. And value is stored customer input. Let's set the timeout to a higher value. Save. Okay, let's go to the play prompt part where we need to play a prompt about the order status and the expected delivery date, right? So a message will be something like the status of your order is so and so. Note the $.external.order status part and $.external.expected delivery date. This is what the Lambda function returns in the result map. Let's save that. Now we are ready to publish. Now that our order status flow is done, let us go back to our main flow. And here, the transfer to flow block for the option 3, right? Here we need to set the order status flow. Okay. And just make sure that all the arrows are pointing to the right places, right? And we are ready to save and publish. Okay, let's publish it now. Let's set up a customer support number. Now that our flows are ready, it's time to set up our customer support number. So let's select that option of 4 numbers. Let's hit claim a number. Okay, we are interested in direct inward dialing number. Select the country. Okay, and then we can choose a number. All right, let's hit save. Okay, so our number is ready. Now let's click that again. And here we select the contact flow, which would get invoked when a customer is dialing. So this will be our main flow. Hit save and we are done. We are all set. Now we are ready to see how call to sales is handled. Okay, now I'm going to log in as an agent and receive a customer support call. Right? So I'm logging in as Bill. And I will launch the agent application. Okay, I'll move the screen to the left. And for the demo, I will also play the role of a customer. So let me dial in a customer support number. And as an agent, I change my status to available so that I can receive calls. Okay.
Welcome to the Gadget Company. For sales, press 1. For technical support, press 2. For order status, press 3. Thank you for calling. Your call is very important to us and will be answered in the order it was received. Sales queue.
Hello.
Hello.
Can I help you
How
today?
may I help you today?
You are on hold.
Let's see what happens with a technical support call.
Welcome to the Gadget Company. For sales, press 1. For technical support, press 2. For order status, press 3. Sorry, we are closed now. Please call us 9 a.m. to 5 p.m. Pacific Standard Time on weekdays. Thank you.
Let's make a call to find the order status.
Welcome to the Gadget Company. For sales, press 1. For technical support, press 2. For order status, press 3. Please key in order number, followed by the pound key. The status of your order is shipped. Expected delivery date is 31st of December 2022. Thank you.
And that completes our demo. With this, we come to the end of our discussion and demo on setting up a cloud contact center with Amazon Connect.